Hey there, YouTube. So I have made it to Cincinnati, Ohio. Last night I was at Bettendorf, Iowa, and so the load that I picked up there, I went ahead and spent the night there after the load got loaded, and kind of had a hard time motivating myself to get out of bed this morning. I don't know. I think the driving in the snowstorm for the 3 hours yesterday up there in Illinois, I don't know. I kind of sapped me of my motivation a little bit. So anyway, I got up and I made it. It was about probably 3:30 this afternoon Central Time when I made it over to Romeoville, Illinois. And I dropped the loaded trailer, and then I was able to pick up another loaded trailer, the one I have now, at the same place. And then that one delivers here in Cincinnati. So I'm at the place where I'm going to deliver here in Cincinnati, Ohio. It delivers at 8 a.m. Of course, Cincinnati's on Eastern Time. So, and right now I think it is, let me get my glasses so I can see, since I don't have my contacts in. It's 11:43 p.m. Eastern Time. So, made it here, and it was 40, I don't know, 40-something degrees today. Maybe at most I saw probably 45 perhaps. Only downside, it was pretty windy. Now the wind isn't bad here. I haven't felt any wind for a while, so maybe the wind has kind of let up a little bit. But around Chicago, of course, and even in Iowa, and back in that part of Illinois, between there, between Chicago, the Chicago area, and Bettendorf, Iowa, pretty windy. So in any case, then once the load's unloaded here, then we'll see what they come up with. So tomorrow is what, the 18th? Today was the 18th. I think tomorrow's the 19th. I don't know. Sometimes I tend to get a day ahead. But I'm due home by the 23rd. So that's coming up. It's it's coming up, so I'll begin sending a little reminder to my to whoever. I always just kind of put in little reminders as I unload that if there's a little comment fields here and there, and they're pretty good about getting me home. But I like to if I think there's a possibility that there's going to be some kind a chance for miscommunication, then the best thing to do, instead of waiting for the miscommunication to happen, and because I've seen drivers do this all the time. I see people in general do it all the time. They'll wait for they know a miscommunication is probably, there's a good chance it's going to happen, and so then they allow the miscommunication to happen, and then they get mad about it. And that was the whole reason that, whether they realize it or not, that's the whole reason that they allowed the miscommunication to happen, was because they wanted to get upset about it. They wanted to resent it, to be perfectly frank. And, judge it, because resentment is judgment. So, people they think judgment, you're deciding whether something's good or whether something's bad. Judgment, as talked about in the Bible, is resentment. You're kind of playing God as if your thoughts could, you were God and you could just wipe person, place, or thing out with your thoughts. And of course we're not. So, but people do that all the time. They'll, and I can see them doing it. And sometimes you can tell people that they're doing it, and they may even agree with you, but they'll still do it anyway. In the video that I put up last night, and I also put up an audio podcast, I was talking about why you should always do the right thing. When especially if your conscience You know what the right thing is to do. Most people do. There are very few people that are sociopathic, that have no conscience at all. So generally speaking, you know the right thing to do. So, and there is a reward, even if you feel like you're being penalized. The reward for doing the right thing is not, it's not in an afterlife. And you're going to have to suffer or whatever now, so that you can build up brownie points in some afterlife. It has nothing to do with brownie points. If you do the right thing for the right reason, then you're rewarded right now in the form that you actually draw closer to your Creator. And that, if you really understand what that is, because in a sense you could say that if you draw closer to your Creator, there's less friction, because otherwise there's friction between our Creator and us, because we're trying to rebel and do whatever it is we think we want to do in order to play God, and our Creator is the real God, and so there's this friction that ends up happening. And so if you can begin to do this, you see the right thing, you know what the right thing is to do, and you do it, even if you feel like you're being penalized for doing it, you do the right thing, then you have an immediate reward, and that immediate reward is that you draw closer to your Creator. Now, there's at least two types of people. There are people that really want to know the truth, and people that really want, that really want to find their Creator. And then there's this other type of person that, they may pay lip service to it, maybe they do, maybe they don't. But when it comes right down to the nitty-gritty, where the rubber meets the road, they really don't want that Creator. They want, maybe they want just to be soothed, and then they can just kind of go on and do whatever it is they do. They have their little mess of pottage, and, let them have it. I don't care. But there is a reward for doing the right thing for the right reason, but it's not, it's not an afterlife. It's here and now. We don't know what, I personally, as I said before, I believe there's an afterlife, but, the Bible says, eye has not seen or ear heard what the Lord thy God has prepared for those that love Him. We don't know. We have no clue. We really don't. And I don't. But on the other hand, getting rewarded here and now, it really, it kind of results in a paradox, because I see, I'm in the world and I see all of these problems that people have, and I can end up being affected by those problems, but it's somehow I see it, but who I am is not affected by it. The relationship that I have with my Creator is not affected by sort of the external friction that's going on with other people. And that sort of, this external friction, of course, passes from one person to the next. It's an externalized identity. You're either getting your identity from your Creator, or you're getting it from the outside. Now, go back to the Adam and Eve story. Adam was created perfect, and he was in perfect communion with his Creator, and of course he blew it. Then he wouldn't admit that he was wrong. He made up, oh, the woman you gave me, she made me do it. She offered me the fruit, and so I took it from her. It's her fault. And even though God clearly told him, this, you shall not eat of the fruit of this tree, whatever it was, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So, but if you look at it from the context of identity, we're sort of their, the descendants of Adam and Eve, and there had to be a first pair of human beings. We're their descendants. That's where the concept of being born in sin comes from. We're born sort of separate, not completely 100% bonded in the way Adam was, because Adam was created perfect. He was in perfect communion with his Creator. We're sort of separated from that, and plus we have this proclivity to want to do the wrong thing. We have a proclivity to want to play God. It's right in the Bible, right in the book of Genesis. So it really comes down to identity, and do you want the identity that comes from your Creator? Do you want the identity that He is that He offers? Because it's not forced. If you were God, how would you create a creature that could actually love you? How would you do that? Because you can create all kinds of animals and trees and plants and fish and so on and so forth, and they are what they are. They're basically, pick your most, the smartest animal, like a dog or a dolphin or whatever. Pick the smartest one, and it's still a wind-up robot. It's a series of. It basically runs. It's like a series of instruction sets, really sophisticated instruction sets, and. By the way, that's all, if we create a computer like this, the one that won the Jeopardy game, it's just a sophisticated, you can make increasingly sophisticated instruction sets, but there's no consciousness there. There's nothing there. It's just a wind-up machine. So, how would you create a creature that could love you? You'd have to give that creature the option of going the wrong way. And so that's why God created evil. That's right in your Bible too. A lot of people don't realize that. It's right in there, and evil exists so that it gives us a choice. So therefore, in a sense, evil is a gift. Who's going to tell you that? So we are here not to have comfortable lives and have the maximum amount of pleasure and the most toys and make the most money and have the biggest house and the fanciest car and so on and so forth. That's not why we're here. And none of that stuff is going to make you happy. There's nothing that's wrong with it per se, but it's not going to make you happy. There's only one thing that can, and that the only real thing is the identity that comes from your Creator. And that's it. All the rest of it is just an empty experience, and it becomes emptier. The more you pursue it, the emptier it becomes. And so it's all about where does your identity come from? Where do what is the inclination of your soul? Do you really want the identity that comes from your Creator? Or are you happy with you happy with the mess of pottage? You happy with the hell that sort of the hell that we're in? That this world is. It's sort of this earth is sort of a halfway house between heaven and hell. So, in any case, that is the reason to do the right thing. You're rewarded immediately by being able to draw closer to your Creator. And that is worth everything. That is worth doing the right thing. It absolutely is. And nothing else is going to, can satisfy. If you're a person that's looking for that, nothing else will satisfy. So, anyway, probably need to cut this off, get to bed. So, from Cincinnati, Ohio, we'll catch you later.